In recent years, the Houston Astros have been the poster child of what it means to be a professional sports team. The team has been active in the community by donating time and resources to hurricane relief in the Houston area, won 2 of the last 4 World Series, and have done this while having minimal star power. Simply put, the Astros were the team that everyone was trying to be and had the respect of the entire MLB and its fans for the success in which they were having. But like the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Recently, the Houston Astros were caught stealing signs from opposing pitchers, which gave the Astros an illegal upper hand when at the plate. The sign stealing scandal dated back to 2017, when the Astros won their first World Series. Additionally, in 2017, Astros second baseman Jose Altuve won the American League MVP. The scandal carried over in 2018 when the team managed to win 103 regular season games, the second highest mark in the MLB that year. In baseball, pitchers and catchers relay signs to understand what pitch will be thrown before a pitcher even lines up. To steal the sign, which is against the rules of the MLB, the team must use video to study the signs, relay that information back to the dugout, and then from the dugout, relay it to the batter. The Astros would relay this information to the batter by banging on trash cans in the team dugout when an off-speed pitch was coming. By stealing a pitcher's sign, a batter can understand what pitch is coming their way, which allows them to decide to be aggressive or lay off before the pitch is even thrown. In addition to creating a competitive advantage, sign stealing also has a financial benefit. According to an MLB statistician, the economic difference between a win and a loss is approximately $1.2 million. To put into perspective how impactful sign stealing is, baseball analyst Tom Verducci went back and analyzed every off-speed pitch that Clayton Kershaw threw in Game 5 of the 2017 World Series. Kershaw, who is one of the best pitchers to ever throw a baseball, and is undoubtedly a first-ballot Hall of Famer, threw 39 off-speed pitches in that game. Of the 39, the Houston Astros swung and missed on just one of the off-speed pitches. As a pitcher, throwing with velocity is extremely important, as a fastball is the ball that you're going to go to the majority of the time. But with that being said, off-speed pitches are where the pitching battle is really won, and where a chess match is created between the pitcher and the batter. By understanding when Clayton Kershaw was going to throw his best baseball, the Astros simply had an unmeasurable competitive advantage in a game that ultimately would go on to be decided by just 1 run. If the Astros were to have lost this game, then the Dodgers would have won the series in 6 games. But instead, the Astros would go on to take the series to 7 games and win it all. Ultimately, the Astros, by cheating, changed the course of MLB history forever. Before we analyze MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred's punishment to the Houston Astros for violating MLB conduct, it is necessary to view how the Commission has handled similar cases in the past. In 2017, the Boston Red Sox implemented a 6-step sign stealing system against the New York Yankees to advance their lead in the Eastern Division of the American League. After discovering this, the Yankees took it to the MLB Commissioner's office to report the offense. And after an investigation, Commissioner Manfred found that the Boston Red Sox did indeed violate a league rule of using digital devices to steal signs. Manfred fined the Red Sox an undisclosed amount, but stated, any team to violate the rule in the future would receive harsher punishment. And this is critical when we analyze the punishment in which Manfred gave the Houston Astros. As a result of the investigation, Commissioner Rob Manfred passed down a number of punishments to the Houston Astros. To start, General Manager Jeff Lindholm and Manager A.J. Hinch were suspended, but later to be fired by Houston owner Jim Crane. Additionally, the Astros were fined the maximum amount by the league, which is $5 million. And what might have hurt the team the most was that in 2020 and 2021, the team will lose their first and second round draft picks, which is detrimental when building for the future. Although this might seem like harsh punishments, for the amount of history and the amount of detriment that the Astros have had on the game, this really is just a slap on the wrist, and it's how many players view it as well. One way Commissioner Manfred could have handled the situation that would have made the Astros an example of what happens when a team cheats is suspending the team from competition in the 2020 season. Although this may appear as an extreme punishment, it is something that has been done before in sports. Recently, the UEFA announced a 2-year ban on Manchester City for falsifying financial reports to European football's governing body. Another option of punishment that could have been given to the Astros is vacating their 2017 World Series title, along with Jose Altuve's 2017 American League MVP. Of the major four American leagues, which include the MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL, no team has ever been stripped of their title. But unfortunately, the Dodgers cannot go back in time and replay the 2017 World Series while the Astros weren't cheating, because a season like that only comes around once in a blue moon. After hearing the forced apologies of Astros players, Los Angeles Dodgers Cody Bellinger offered his insight on the punishment. I thought Manfred's punishment was weak. These guys were cheating for 3 years. Altuve stole an MVP from Aaron Judge in 17. Everyone knows they stole the ring from us. Bellinger was on that 2017 Dodgers team that lost to the Astros in the World Series. And to rub salt in the wound of these players, Astros owner Jim Crane stated in a press conference that, "Our opinion is that this didn't impact the game. We had a good team, we won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that." By Jim Crane stating this, he is simply disregarding the unethical behavior in which he as a leader condoned, although he does claim to not have any knowledge of the scandal. As a leader, such as Jim Crane and the management in which he fired, you have to carry out the exposed values and norms of the organization. Otherwise, if an organization's leadership partakes in illegal or unethical behavior, that becomes the enacted values and norms of that organization. And this is the exact scenario that has played out within the Astros, as their unethical and enacted value norms trump their exposed values and norms. The future plan moving forward for the Astros must be applying theories within organizational behavior to develop values and norms that are both ethical and consistent throughout the structure of the company. Either way you cut it, the Astros clearly have unethical and active values. Another way the Astros have displayed their unethical values is by signing Roberto Osuna, a world-class baseball pitcher that served a 75-game suspension for domestic abuse. Many MLB teams wanted to sign the player due to his talent, but it's simply unethical to reward someone with a history of domestic violence. So many teams passed up on the young talent. The exception of this being the Houston Astros, of course. After Osuna had won the pitching duel in a crucial playoffs game against the Yankees, Brandon Taubman, who was an assistant general manager of the Astros, made very disgraceful remarks. Taubman came into the locker room and shouted in the direction of 3 female reporters, "Thank God we got Osuna. I'm so explicit glad we got Osuna." Therefore, not only do the Houston Astros put performance over principles, but Brandon Taubman, who is in a leadership role with the team, embraces his presence and rubs salt in the wound of women that cover sports. Frankly, this encounter is disgusting and something that all Astro fans and baseball fans in general should be ashamed of. The Houston Astros currently use the utilitarian approach in their leadership structure, and as their means of cheating and signing players with a history of domestic violence justify the ends of winning. The utilitarian approach can be beneficial in some settings, but it requires an ethical leadership committee that recognizes when the means are no longer within the realm of possibility due to unethical circumstances. Unfortunately, the Astros leadership committee grew power hungry while using the utilitarian approach to cheat their way to 2 World Series titles. And now, the task of both MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred and the Astros owner Jim Crane will be to find a leadership committee consisting of management, both on and off field positions that can transform the player's mindset from a utilitarian approach to a virtue or duty-based approach. Although many do not believe owner Jim Crane in his statement that he had no knowledge of the scandal, he has taken a step in the right direction by terminating former manager and general manager positions, but is now tasked with filling both executive and on-field positions with higher character individuals. Members at the top of the organization have to focus on emphasizing the exposed values clearly stated by owner Jim Crane. And the road ahead to an unethical organization is not a clear or easy path, but the team has no other option but to accept taking this route. Clearly, the past 3 years of the Houston Astros are not what they have seen. Although on the field the team has had success, the opposite couldn't be more true for what's been happening in the team's clubhouse. Between the team's ceiling scandal and domestic violence with players, there's clearly a need for change within both leadership and culture within the organization. I have no doubt that by addressing the unethical leadership and applying the proposed solutions based upon organizational behavior, that the Houston Astros will one day find themselves successful again, both on the field and in regards to ethical standards as well. Thank you.